What up YouTube, G for Elite here once again, and today's video is pretty much going to be a little bit about me, and characteristics of a 90s kid pretty much, basically talking about my childhood and pretty much the characteristics of what 90 kids had in terms of TV shows, video games, and what we did, because like a lot of my viewers are people that was born in the 90s like me, so a lot of you will remember what I'm talking about. And if you're born like in the late 90s and shit, you probably shouldn't watch this video because you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, I was born in the early parts of the 90s, so the shit I grew up with, was like retro shit, like Sega Genesis, like what made me want to do this video was the fact that I just did find my old Sega, that was like, no, my Nintendo was the very first console I ever had, and then after that, me and my brother had bought me and my brother a Sega Genesis, for Christmas a year after that. So pretty much it was the greatest system to us back then, because like I said, that was like the best retro system to have, back in that time period. Was like a Sega, the hottest game out was Sonic, like that's what we played the majority of the time, was Sonic and Mortal Kombat all the time. And Sonic ain't really that popular now, all the new Sonic games now that come out in 2011 are pretty shitty, but the Sonic games that was in 1994 and shit, those was pretty epic. We loved that shit, it didn't take that much to impress us back then, so we legitimately loved that. And I was a kid, and when I used to play Mortal Kombat, that, like, don't judge me, that shit used to give me nightmares. I was a little ass kid doing fatalities, like ripping a person's head off and shit, and showing a skeleton and shit, or breathing a fire and turning this person to a skeleton, ripping hearts out and shit. I ain't know no better. I was young as hell, and I was like, did I just do that to him? Did I just rip this bitch heart out? It was like crazy to me, but I was still addicted to it. I still played it every single day, and that we kept the Sega up until we got a PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1 was the dopest thing ever, because the very first game we got was Live 96. that was the first game we got. It was a basketball game, and we was like, holy fuck, 3D graphics, that shit blew us away, and then we got Live 97 and got all these other weird games that started to come out, like I said, I was still a kid, when like shit like Tomb Raider came out. All I knew was a big titty chick, that's all I knew when I was a little kid. I just thought that was like, whoa, why would they buy me this game? I'm not complaining, but why would they buy me this game? But yeah, it was the classic shit. We liked that shit back then. It didn't take too much. Now when I get a game, you critique everything, you analyze every small aspect of a game. Back then we ain't care, we just wanted to kill shit. That's what we did. We just wanted to kill shit, Back when and let me see, if I remember correctly, shit like back in second grade, that's when we started to have Pokemon cards. That was like in 1997, that was in second grade. So yeah, we started to play with Pokemon cards. That's what everybody was doing in school back then, like we traded cards, we stole cards, we battled and all that shit, but then we started to get tired of Pokemon because it seemed like that shit was never gonna end. Every time we thought it was over, it wasn't. So we was like, what is this shit? We still bought every Pokemon game for Game Boy. We still love the games, but in terms of cards and the TV show, we was like, is this shit ever gonna end? So we just got tired of that shit. And currently, it's still not even over. It's fucking 2011. Pokemon still ain't over. Why this dude still trying to be a Pokemon master, and it's like fucking 13 years later? How long do it fucking takes? And why the fuck is he still like 10 or 11? Who still watch that shit? I know I don't. But like I said, that Pokemon phase led all the way up till around 5th grade and 6th grade. That's when we started getting to Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, that was definitely great, because, you know, Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician, you know, I remember all them cards, you know. I still got some of them stashed around here somewhere, but, you know, like I said, that was awesome too. We, during our free time, like in the cafeteria, we would duel and shit. You know, that was always fun, you know. We would trade cards and do that same shit we did with Pokemon, you know. And I don't know, like, I liked it back then because even the popular kids was into this shit, you know, like it wasn't just nerdy kids over here though. It was like the whole class was dueling, you know, and that's what I liked about it, you know. If you do that shit now, it's like divided now. It ain't like that now. Now it's got like the popular cliques and the loser cliques. But back then, you know, back when we was that young, you know, everybody was into it. So I liked it back then too. So it was first Pokemon cards, then Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and then after the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh ended, I didn't even want to watch the shit no more. You know, I was done with it. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh GX, you know, they started complicating the rules and shit. And then that other new Yu-Gi-Oh came out and the motherfuckers was on motorcycles and shit. And I was like, so what the fuck am I supposed to do if I want to do it now? I gotta go out and buy a fucking Suzuki or some shit if I want to do it now, you know? So shit got too complicated for me, you know, with the synchro monsters and all that shit. So I kind of just said, fuck that, you know? I rode with Yu-Gi-Oh from 5th grade, from like 5th grade all the way till like maybe 7th grade, you know, and after that I was done, you know. So that definitely had a good run, you know. And then after that, let me see what else that we used to watch on TV back then. We used to watch we had a whole bunch of shit we used to watch on TV back then, like Family Matters, you know, typical 90s shit, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Boys Meet World, you know, just typical 90s shit that we still go back and look up on YouTube now. Like all of that. I know y'all remember that, Kenan and Kel, like all these retro shit that we just thoroughly enjoyed. Like, don't judge me, but I used to love Little Bear on Nick Jr. when I was a little kid. I used to love, let me see what else I used to love. I used to love Gullah Gullah Island, you know? That shit was just like one of the best shows ever. I didn't get much into Franklin because I was too old to watch Nick Jr. I was getting too old, you know, I was too old, so I didn't get into Franklin, but I loved Little Bear, Gullah Gullah Island, and shit like that. So those were definitely shows that me and my older brother and my not my little cousin, she's the same age as me, but my cousin, we all watched that shit together, you know. So like I said, it was just it was like the 90s was just a great era to be in, you know, with Dexter, The Laboratory, Johnny Bravo. We had like the best cartoons out, you know. Like we had the best cartoons. We had the easiest video games and shit. You know, they wasn't charging us like fucking $60 a pop, you know, for a game like they do now, and plus $20 for this DLC over here, you know, ripping kids off. Back then, you know, you just paid like maybe $20 a game, you know. So that shit was just dope to me, you know. And sorry, I know this is a long video, but you know, like I said, I found my old Sega, so you know, that was nostalgic, and it brought back all these memories and shit, you know, all these typical 90s memories. So, but anyways, I ain't gonna make this video mega long, but I just wanted to tell y'all my experiences in the 90s and shit. So if you a 90s kid and shit like me, you know, hit me up in the comments and tell me what was your favorite thing about the 90s, like your favorite TV show, your favorite video game, your favorite memory. Just hit me up and tell me what was your favorite thing about it. So this has been G4 Leader here, signing off. Thank you for watching, guys.